Hey, it's Kevin. Welcome back to the Road Warrior. I'm sure I have delved into this subject before, but again, like I've always said, with doing a daily 60-second commentary podcast every day for 12 plus years, doing these every week for equally as long, I don't know what I've talked about. Sometimes my discussions in life become fodder for this, of course, but more importantly, sometimes it's like, well, I know I've talked about this, but I don't know where I talked about it. But I look at the world we live in today, and I wonder what's next. Again, not a political discussion. I guess it could be. But how at this point do any of us agree or even come close to an agreement on anything? We are now all so individualistic. We now have, well, I guess similar backgrounds and similar lives. We really don't. In theory, again I say in theory, we all have access to the technology we use on the internet. But again, that's just not something handed down from God. It's something that people then create. So every factoid, everything on the internet has been put there by somebody else. It's not necessarily fact, and I guess that is a political discussion with the what's fact, well, that's the way I choose to look at it, so I'm calling it a fact. I'm sure there was something that was like, and maybe it was like a Sheldon Cooper thing about, well, and that's a fact. And he goes, not unless I choose for it to be a fact. You can't dispute facts. Well, you can't dispute facts because they can be proven wrong. Facts are only facts until they're proven wrong. And I sometimes think, what's the purpose of any of this for us? What's the purpose of me doing this every week? Is your life going to be different without me here on a Sunday for 4 minutes rambling on incoherently? I personally like to think, yes, it would be different. Your life would be less fulfilling, but I know the reality. At the same time, how different would my life be? I'd get hours a month back because I wouldn't be producing this content. That does take time to do. And I don't just do one version because then I repurpose it on other sites and I then repurpose the old episodes for the site. I mean, it's both a hobby and not a vocation because I don't get paid for it. But if I didn't do it, if these weren't here, life would be different. Again, what's the purpose? I don't know. And I often ask myself that. What is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of just getting in a car, turning on a camera, and driving down the road and talking? It's kind of silly, I know, but it's kind of some of the things I do think about, and I think about often. I know, once again, I'm starting to get a little esoteric, which from time to time I will do. Just something I think about, I guess. This is not a big psychological discussion, although maybe it is. I'm not questioning my life. I'm not questioning any of it. I'm just wondering what's next for all of us. Not just for me. Where is this all going? How does this all play out? And again, if I'm not here next week, it's maybe because I didn't do it, or it's maybe because I'm just not here anymore. I hope that's not the case. But that's the way it is for all of us. We haven't found that person yet that's been able to, well, get past all of this, have we? Back next week, another Road Warrior, something to think about. KevinMason.us, home to all the Road Warrior videos on Facebook, on YouTube, and dealing with the sun shadows. We'll see you next week. Comment, like, share, you know the drill. Appreciate it when you do. See you next week, another Road Warrior.